Hello, television family. We're back. Hope you had a good Monday. We're back out of here for this, the 17th day of December 2024. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Coates. It is 33 degrees outside. Of that, my friends, is going to be our high temperature today. Winter weather advisory. It's in effect right now. It goes until 10 o'clock on Wednesday. We have a lot of weather to get to because we're going to have a lot of weather today. We're going to have snow. And then for about an hour to an hour and a half, late in the afternoon, early in the evening, we're going to transition to freezing rain. Ouch. And then it switches over to all rain. We're going to get it all, folks. It's a very interesting weather pattern that's parked in our doorstep. We have all those details coming up. But first things first, it's Tuesday. And right through the holiday season, if you've been watching this show, and if you have, good for you. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we give away a $50 gift card from one of the participating businesses in Small Town Holidays. We've teamed up with our friends at the Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce and the Manson folks as well to give away $50 gift cards to get you folks to head up and do your Christmas shopping and your holiday shopping up in the Lake Chelan Valley. And why not? It's a cool place to go this time of the year. And this place is a really cool place. This is the Lake Chelan Chamber's new business of the year. This year it is Von Hart Goods in Manson. It's a bakery, it's a deli, it's good stuff. People are raving about this place, Von Hart Goods, because the bread is really good. It's homemade bread. They do it every day. If you want to partake in their delectable delights, call ahead and order something for the holidays because they're going to be really busy. It's all fresh baked goods. They do it every day. So when they run out, they run out. They don't make more. So this has got a lot of buzz. I've been talking to people up there, and they go, man, Von Hart's, and that's their name. That's the family name. So they put their name in their business. I like that. I've always respected that. People are just raving about how good their bread is and how good their sandwiches are. It's become the hot spot in Manson, and a $50 gift card to Von Hart's could be yours by sending me an email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. That's how you enter. It's via email because everybody has an email address, winner@ncwlife.com. You know the rules by now. You can enter more than once. If you have more than one email address, it's one entry per email address, and employees of WIC Communications are not eligible. Sorry, Alicia, you can't win, Alicia, because you work here. In any event, send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com. We'll do the drawing probably tomorrow at this time. Again, a $50 gift card to Von Hart's Goods in Manson. You're going to take one bite of their sourdough and you'll go, this is where I'm going. It's worth that trip. Weather. Yeah, I mentioned that. News. Got. Sports. Yes. Is Geno Smith going to play Sunday against the Vikings? Looks like it. Don't know. And speaking of sports, it's Tuesday. And during the hockey season, every Tuesday, we carve out a little time to visit with our friend Austin Andrade, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. In case you missed it over the weekend, they had a really good weekend. They beat the best team of the Western Hockey League on the road on Friday, and then they just bulldozed over Kelowna on Saturday. It was a wonderful, beautiful thing. Austin will join me in the back half of the program. We have 3 slides to show for you, all of them weather related. First of all, I already mentioned we have the winter weather advisory, which is going on right now. Take a look at the area circled in purple, and that is us. Now, here's the timeline today. Snow this morning until the late afternoon hours. We could get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. 2 to 4 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley, maybe even a little bit more in the upper elevations. So snow until about 4-ish, we think. And then as the warmer air begins to come in, it'll transition from snow to freezing rain. We're going to have warm, moist air up above the valley floor. It's going to fall as rain in the upper elevations as it passes through the cold air. It will freeze and hit the ground as freezing rain from about 4 to about 5:30. This is all pretty close guesstimates. And then it switches over to just plain rain at about 6 o'clock, and we're going to gradually warm up. We'll be pushing 40 degrees by the end of the day today. Normally we have the overnight low and the afternoon high. Well, that's going to be flipped around on its head because of the wintry precipitation. So it could be rather dicey. Again, snow until around 4, and then we transition to a snow/freezing rain mix, and then to rain by the time we get to the evening hours today. It's all out there. And needless to say, that's going to make travel in the passes a royal pain in the butt. The freezing rain in the forecast for the passes could get enough to really make driving in the Cascades this afternoon through Wednesday morning. Really bad. The highest concern, as you can see there, is I-90 and Stevens Pass, but White Pass and Blewett Pass could all get some freezing rain, but the highest concentration of freezing rain sticking to the roadway today into the early hours tomorrow is Snoqualmie and Stevens. Ouch, that sounds like it's not very fun. And then we get really warm, and all the snow we're going to get is going to be going away because we're going to be well into the 40s tomorrow. So a friendly reminder, the atmospheric river, which is parked right on our doorstep, is on the way, folks. And it will be joining us by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So starting Wednesday, tomorrow, here comes some very warm air. It's moist air. We're going to see sunshine Wednesday, but we got to get there first. In the morning, it's going to be cloudy and rainy on Wednesday, and they're going to warm all the way up to 46. As I mentioned before, by the time we get to midnight tonight, it'll be like 40 degrees. So although we are going to get about 2 to 4 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's going to melt big time on Wednesday, and then it's going to be well above normal right through the rest of the weekend, into the weekend. So in detail from the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. High today of 33, and that's exactly where we are right now. Again, snow during the daylight hours, right around sunset. It transitions to freezing rain. Could be freezing rain for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then a freezing rain mix, and then just plain rain. As you can see, 36 for the low. Yeah, that's very odd indeed, and it could be up to close to 40 by the time we get to midnight tonight. And it's going to be very mild on Wednesday. We're going to have some clouds and rain in the morning when the winter weather advisory expires at 10 a.m. and then the sun will be coming out, and we'll have quite a bit of sunshine on Wednesday. It's going to be breezy too. Pretty windy on Wednesday, but a high of 46. Wow, so there's your snow melt. 29 for the overnight low Wednesday night. Thursday, snow level will be well above our area. It'll be close to 5,000 feet by the time we get to Thursday with a high of 38 and rain. Chance of rain on Friday, but not much, and a high of 39. Pushing 40 with rain on Saturday, pushing 40 with rain on Sunday, pushing 40 with rain on Monday. We're in for a warm and wet stretch, but today is going to be dicey. We get it all. We get snow, we get freezing rain, and then we get rain on top of all that stuff. That's the weather. Going to take a break and come back with your headlines. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Do you hate getting called by Medicare telemarketers? Well, this October, your phone is going to be ringing off the hook because we will be experiencing a huge Medicare change. Now, for the last 20 years, Springwater Insurance has been helping those of you on Medicare. So just say no to those telemarketers by not answering their ads. Instead, call a local agent like Springwater Insurance, who's been helping for 20 years. So give us a call at Springwater. We can meet at one of our 5 offices or give us a call.
Overcast and 33 degrees. Snow today transitions to a snow freezing rain mix for about an hour and a half, about 5 o'clock tonight roughly. And then it switches over to all rain with temperatures climbing up to near 40 by midnight tonight, but we got to get there first. It's 10 minutes after the hour. The East Wenatchee man who pleaded guilty in the murder of Cynthia Nicole Ring was sentenced yesterday to 172 months in prison. That's about 14 years. Ashton Bunting Jr. apologized repeatedly in court for the murder of Ring, who was 28 years old when her body was found last June in the apartment she and Bunting shared with her 4-year-old son. Police discovered the child in the apartment after he'd spent about 36 hours by himself with his mother's dead body in a locked bedroom. Bunting fled the state, was arrested a week later in Ohio. Douglas County Judge Brian Huber imposed the sentence, finding that Ring and Bunting were intimate partners at the time of her killing, and that enhances the range of his prison time. In a statement to the court, Cynthia Ring's father said the crime has forever changed his life as well as that of his grandchild. The Washington State Patrol on Monday morning arrested a motorist in western Chelan County after he allegedly fled from police while driving a stolen SUV. Troopers say they spotted the black 2008 Lincoln MKX at about 9 o'clock yesterday morning on Highway 2 near the Big Y Junction, about 5 miles east of Leavenworth. When they attempted a traffic stop, the Lincoln turned onto Highway 97 towards Blewett Pass, kept right on going. About a mile south of the Big Y, the vehicle crashed and the driver allegedly ran away as troopers approached. But the Lincoln, by the way, had been reported stolen. Police say they found a rifle inside. Well, the driver came out of hiding from the woods and surrendered after Chelan County deputies arrived and sent a police dog out to find him. 19-year-old Stephen DeMore Thomas booked into the Chelan County Jail. He faces possible charges including stolen vehicle possession, drug possession, and hit and run. Highway 97 was closed to traffic during the search for about half an hour. The woman accused of defrauding Washington banks and their customers out of thousands of dollars and then trying to do the same thing in another state is now charged with multiple felonies in Chelan County. 51-year-old Andrea Estelle Cochran of Texas charged in late November with 2 counts of theft, 2 counts of identity theft, and 1 count of forgery for allegedly using a falsified passport back in May to withdraw nearly $11,000 from the Leavenworth branch of Cashmere Valley Bank. It was one of several stops Cochran allegedly made while illegally withdrawing funds from banks throughout Washington. She's also charged with similar offenses in Lewis, Kittitas, and Benton counties, and authorities caught up to Cochran and arrested her in Maine in August, where she faces possible federal indictments there for the illegal use of a passport. A residential fire that claimed the life of a man in unincorporated Moses Lake is under investigation. It was discovered at about 4 o'clock Friday afternoon at a home in the 7400 block of Blue Goose Street. That's just outside the city limits of Moses Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says a concerned neighbor came to check on the occupant after noticing the garage door was open and found the man's body on the floor. The house had suffered heat and smoke damage, and investigators believe the resident was overcome by smoke after a fire started inside the airtight structure. The victim's identity not disclosed. The cause of the fire is being investigated by sheriff's detectives and the Grant County Fire Marshal. Speaking of Grant County, their sheriff's office is warning drivers to slow down after a car struck a county snowplow yesterday morning. The sheriff's office said the crash happened at about 7:15 yesterday morning on Sagebrush Flats Road. That's about 5 miles from Ephrata. The driver was reported to have been driving too fast for conditions, lost control of his car, then he collided with the snowplow. The driver sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The plow driver not seriously injured. And a longtime state legislator Brad Hawkins has a handful of committee assignments waiting for him when he joins the Chelan County Board of Commissioners on January 1st. Hawkins won election in November to replace the outgoing commissioner, Tiffany Gehring. County commissioners serve by law on the boards of related governmental organizations, and yesterday the incumbent commissioners assigned Brad Hawkins to seats on the Chelan-Douglas Board of Health, as well as the Board of Managers that oversees Rivercom. Other committee seats are pending. Hawkins has served for the previous 4 years in the state Senate for the 12th District and 8 years before that as a state representative. Commissioner Sean Smith, by the way, will serve as chair of the county board next year. That's the news at 1:15. It was a busy day yesterday in the newsroom. Today will be no exception. And so if you want to find out what the heck's going on around here, and we have a distinct impression that you do because a lot of people watch the news, The NCWLIFE Evening News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television, 5, 6, and 10 for you to peruse on TV. If that doesn't work, it's up and running via the World Wide Web. We'll post it right around 5 o'clock so you can watch it on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, or our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. And if you think something out there might be newsworthy, we'd love to hear from you. Don't hesitate. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports, the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and Hockey Talk with Austin Trotty all coming up. It's a busy Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant, they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family.
Let's go to Hawaii for the holidays.
Here's an easier idea. Enjoy Abby's classic Big Hawaiian Pizza this December. This delicious tropical and giant pizza is at a special holiday price. And when you gift an Abby's gift card, we'll give you a present too.
Headaches, neck or back pain, been injured in a car accident, a work injury, or fall? Studies show that whiplash causes pain year after year. Your neck is supposed to be curved and acts like a spring to absorb shock, but when it's damaged, it straightens or reverses, and this causes headaches and pain. The solution is our specialized comprehensive combination care. You need our team of professionals who will address every point of your injury with very specific equipment and skill. Stop by Wenatchee or Leavenworth for a free consultation.
I think that's a power line.
Nailed it.
What the?
Are you going to call 911 or should I?
Actually, we're late. I'm just gonna drive over it.
Afraid not. Down power lines are super dangerous. If you see one, you call it in.
Yeah, I just drove up to a down power line.
She gets it.
Minutes after the hour in sports, Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald says he's fairly confident that starting quarterback Geno Smith will play Sunday when the Seahawks host the Minnesota Vikings. Smith, of course, was knocked out in the third quarter in Sunday's loss to the Packers. Macdonald addressed his injury during yesterday's weekly press conference.
You know, we're fortunate, so a lot of positive optimistic signs come out of the tests. So Geno's a beast, man. He's in here working out in the morning. Working through it. I mean, I know he's still feeling it, but this guy's tough as nails, and hopefully we'll see him practice, throughout the week with optimistic and be ready for the game.
What's the designation of the injury? Is it a sprain? Is it something different?
To me, give you like the exact thing. I think structurally it's all there. We're rolling, but yeah, it's a knee right now.
At this point, would you anticipate him getting most of the snaps with the ones this week?
I'd say I'm optimistic that he'll get most of the snaps.
On a more serious note, they also lost their starting center, Olu Olotawami, to what McDonald describes as a knee quad injury. That happened in the first half. He may not play this week. Seattle and Minnesota kick off at 1:05 on Sunday afternoon. Sale Kraken return to the ice tonight. They host the Ottawa Senators at Climate Pledge Arena. The Kraken are hoping to rebound from their 5-1 loss Saturday to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Senators have won 3 in a row and 5 out of their last 6. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock on Kong TV. We'll have highlights tomorrow morning. All right, the prep girls basketball schedule in the Big Nine. Wenatchee has the week off, but Sunnyside, Davis, and Moses Lake do not. Sunnyside will be at Pasco, non-leaguer there, of course. Davis at Richland, and Moses Lake will host the Walla Walla Blue Devils tonight in Big 9 basketball. Other league games, and these are all league games here as we head into the Christmas holiday. Quincy will be at Sela at 5:30, Grandview at Ephrata at 5:30. At 5:45, Cashmere will tip off. They'll host Keona Benton, and Chelan will be at Omak in Caribou Trail League basketball at 5:45. More girls basketball, Tenasket at Okanagan at 6 o'clock, also same time. For Liberty Bell hosting Manson, Orville hosts Bridgeport. Cascade Christian Academy has Antioch coming to town, and Nespelem will be at Soap Lake at 5:30. As far as the boys are concerned, a slightly lighter schedule. Still a lot of non-league games going on. Hanford at Eisenhower at 7 o'clock. Pasco will welcome Sunnyside at 7:30. Sela and Quincy will do battle at 7 o'clock. The Ephrata boys and Grandview at 7. At 7:15, the second half of the doubleheader between Keona Benton and Cashmere. And Chelan and Omak, same deal. Second half of their girls-boys doubleheader also at 7:15. And on page 2, it's Tenasket at Okanagan, Manson at Liberty Bell, Bridgeport at Orville, and Antioch at Cascade Christian Academy. All of those tip off at 7:30. Nespelem and Moses Lake at Soap Lake will get together about a half an hour earlier. Pateris has a one-off against Wilson Creek at 6 o'clock, and Moses Lake Christian will be at Warden at 7 o'clock tonight. And those are just some of the games that people are playing or scheduled to play it. For your Obscura holiday today, it's one of my all-time favorite treats. If you don't have maple syrup, you're not eating French toast, you're not eating pancakes. Today is National Maple Syrup Day today. And the real deal, the real maple syrup, that's just maple syrup and nothing else, is really expensive. Have you noticed that? Of course, it comes from the sap of the maple tree. They store all that starch in their trunks during the winter, and they feed off that starch to keep themselves alive. And then when it gets warm, the starch converts itself to sugar, rises up through the trunk, it becomes sap. You drill a hole in it, you release the sap, and then you're in business. Of course, you got to heat the sap to leave just the concentrated maple syrup. And it takes a long time and a lot of sap. It takes roughly 40 gallons of sap from a maple tree, 40 gallons to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. And the trees have got to be mature. A maple tree has to be at least 40 years old before it can be tapped. But on the other hand, maple trees usually live a very long time. And of course, if you store it correctly, maple syrup, once it's open, it can last for years and years. It has a long shelf life. 80% of the world's supply, 80% of the world's supply of true maple syrup, the real deal, comes from Canada, and 2/3 of that comes from Quebec. In fact, just like OPEC, who maintains a huge oil reserve, the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers, it's a syndicate, they have a stockpile of maple syrup that's dipped into and distributed to their members when the maple syrup market is down, when the yield is not as good as it should be. They actually have it in storage, highly secure storage, except 12 years ago, a bunch of crooks broke in to the primary warehouse where all of this maple syrup is being stored, and they stole 6 million pounds of maple syrup to sell on the black market. It's one of the largest thefts of an agricultural product ever. That's how serious they take their maple syrup up north, but you gotta have maple syrup. And again, it just lasts forever. Sometimes it's worth to buy the really expensive bottle of maple syrup because it's gonna be in your kitchen cupboard for a long, long time, and it's ready when you need it. It's Maple Syrup Day today. It's 23 minutes after the hour. Today in history, thank you very much, France, our very first ally. December 17, 1777, 247 years ago today, France formally recognizes the United States as an independent country, not a part of the British Empire. There was, who's kidding who? France didn't like Great Britain. I mean, they still don't much care for one another. But they had just lost. The French did the 7 Years' War to the British, and so they wanted revenge. They wanted also to strategically weaken Britain. They figured Britain's going to take care of all that real estate they have in North America. We're going to give them a hand. And of course, after the Declaration of Independence was made public in Europe, French went, yeah, way to go. France formally recognizes that the United States exists as a country, and thank you very much, France. We appreciate it. That was on this date 247 years ago today. I saw this on my Google icon when I woke up this morning. The Wright brothers, they did it. December 17th, 1903, 121 years ago today, Orville and Wilbur Wright make the very first controlled, powered, heavier-than-air flight, the Wright Flyer at Kitty Hawk In North Carolina, they flew it 4 times on the afternoon of December 17th, 1903. The last one was the best one. It flew 852 feet on its 4th and final flight, but when it landed, it got banged up pretty good, and then about 5 minutes later, a big gust of wind blew it over on its top. Beat the crap out of the Wright Flyer, so they shipped it back to Dayton, and then it remained stored in crates behind a shed for 9 years, and then came the Great Dayton Flood 2 years later, about 10 years later. That covered the Flyer in mud and water. They were going to burn the damn thing, and then one of their friends said, Orville and Wilbur, this is history. Let's not burn it. At least keep it around, and maybe we can rebuild it and give it to a museum. We flew for the first time 121 years ago today. The very first NFL championship game was played on this date in 1933, 91 years ago today, at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Bears beat the New York Giants 23-21. How do the players get paid? Gate receipts. The gate receipts for the game came out to about $21,000. So each player on the winning team, the Bears, they got $210. The Giants players made about $140. The first NFL championship game goes to the Bears. Another note in the world of aviation, the airplane that changed aviation history flew for the very first time on this date in 1935. The Douglas DC-3 makes its maiden flight, and it changed aviation forever. The DC-3, the very first airplane that could make money carrying just passengers. Before that, if you wanted to make money and you ran an airline, you had to carry passengers and freight. Now you could carry just passengers and their luggage and make a lot of money. It was faster, it was reliable, it was comfortable. The DC-3 could fly from New York City to Los Angeles in just 18 hours and only had to land 3 times for fuel. That was in 1935. By 1938, 95% of all commercial airline traffic in this country were DC-3s. The old saying about the DC-3 is the only replacement for a DC-3 is another DC-3. And they're still being used today because they're built like tanks. They can take off and land almost anywhere. They don't need a long runway to do it. They can land on grass fields or dirt or beaches. They're used for agricultural spraying, for freight transport. Smoke jumpers still use the DC-3. Parachute jumpers flying into remote areas for supplies. The DC-3, the workhorse of the airline industry, flew for the first time in the state in 1935. And speaking of 35 years ago today, and I remember watching this show at my apartment right here in Wenatchee. The Simpsons premieres on television with their Christmas special, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. The Simpsons, since then, December 17th, 1989, has broadcast 777 episodes as of last Sunday. 777 original episodes. It is the longest running show and scripted TV show in American television history, both by the number of seasons and the number of episodes. The Simpsons is 35 years old today. One birthday, they don't get much bigger than this guy, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. You probably know him as the Pope. Pope Francis is 88 years old today. He was, of course, the first Jesuit Pope. He is the first Pope from the Americas. He is the first Pope from the Southern Hemisphere. The first Pope from outside Europe at all since Pope Gregory III, who was from Syria and was the Pope in the 8th century. So Pope Francis has broken a lot of barriers, if you will. Prior to working as a chemical technician, that's what he did before he joined the Jesuits and eventually worked his way up the Catholic Church hierarchy. The Pope was a bouncer in a bar in Buenos Aires, and he also worked as a janitor, sweeping floors. Now he's the Pope, and by the way, he has a guest column in this morning's New York Times about having a sense of humor. Pope Francis is 88 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. If you got an older house but a newer HVAC system, say your house is old and then the HVAC system was retrofitted, it was put in 25, 30 years after the house was built, you may have some heating and cooling issues. You may have hot zones in one room and cold in another. have Alpine Air give you a call. They'll come out and say, hey, let's make every room in your house nice and warm and toasty. They know what they're doing for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. An opinion from Mad Dog McNaughty is on the way, and then Hockey Talk with Austin Drade. The Wenatchee Wild had a great weekend. They're heading into their Christmas break. We'll talk hockey with Austin when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Celebrate your holidays at Chelan Ridge Winery. Take your holiday party to new heights or join the Chelan Ridge party every Monday night with a home-cooked meal and a glass of award-winning wine. Elevate your holidays this season at Chelan Ridge Winery.
You're invited to experience small-town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I do some adoption work. I think you know that. And now and then, mostly what I do is what we call family adoption, in which a step-parent, usually a guy, frankly, is stepping up to adopt his wife's children. Well, when this type of adoption occurs, the adoption petitioner, like I said, usually the dad, is accepting all legal and social and economic responsibility to those children who, although they aren't his biological kids, have the same rights and relationship the new dad has to any biological children that might be in the relationship. To make this point, I always tell the prospective adopted parent, yes, you now have the authority to sign the child's field trip permission slips, but they also become your heir and they're going to inherit your stuff. Now, happily, most of these prospective parents just are very happy and eager to accept all this responsibility. And then I tell them there's no act of love more important than what they're doing to provide a secure parent for a child. And I admire the hell out of them for it. It's great, adoption. And this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Walking on Wooden is Chelan's newest casual boutique. Update your wardrobe with the latest casual fashions from Johnson & Murphy, Free People, and UGG. Look for WOW on Wooden Avenue in downtown Chelan.
You're invited to experience small-town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Elevate Home is the newest addition to Chelan's premier shopping district. Shop the latest from American Leather and Bassett Furniture, add in their on-site interior designer, and you'll have everything you need to elevate your space today.
You're invited to experience small town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone.
Collins Fashions welcomes you to a very special holiday season. We are stocked with beautiful fashions and wonderful gifts for your loved ones. Personal service, complimentary gift wrap, Collins gift cards, make your shopping a joy.
Downtown is the heart of Wenatchee. Discover food and beverage spots, delightful shops, and countless services. For the latest on downtown arts, entertainment, and more, go to downtownwenatchee.org.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Welcome back to the program. Every Tuesday, Austin Dorade drops by. Now, he's not going to be here, we don't think, next week because the Wenatchee Wild is on an extended break. They don't play again until the 27th. That gives Austin a little time to fly back to Iowa and see the folks and make a little pilgrimage to the homeland. So we're taking advantage of it before he flies to talk a little Wild hockey. And boy, did we have a fun weekend. Just what the doctor ordered, my friend.
Wasn't that great?
Beating Everett. Everett has only lost 5 games in regulation this entire year. And number 5 was Friday night in Everett to boot. We beat the Silvertips, and we beat them in a great way. 3-2, Mr. Hauser. Thank you very much. Talk about Friday night. I think we have highlights to roll while we do this. Friday night, Everett over the Silvertips. Biggest win of the year so far for the Wild.
Yeah, it was a huge win for the guys. You'll see some highlights here. And the Wild took the lead 3 different times in the game, twice on power plays. Wild are going to set one up, put one in the back of the net right here. They got 2 of the 3 right at the side of the net, and one of them on a one-timer to Mr. Evan Friesen. Friesen with the hot hand early in the second period. Scoreless first. All defense all the time in the first period, 22 total shots, but nothing in the back of the net until the 65-second mark of period number 2. But the Silvertips, you'll hear that sentence a lot here. Silvertips find an opportunity on the far wing. Cycle it back up top, give that one a ride, and a heave to the top corner of the net. Eric Jamieson makes it a 1-1 tie. Not really a snipe, just a toss, and see, most of the time those will go wide, but every so often you hit that target perfectly, and he did it there. But the Wild, you'll hear that sentence quite a bit in this highlight as well. Finally, the power play comes through. Right on the doorstep, comes back to Miles Cooper, and he bangs it in on the near post to make it a 2-1 game. Almost looked like it hit Evan Friesen's skate and came back, but it bumps off a stick and a couple pads in front of the net, and Cooper ready to just chuck it home and make it a 2-1 game. But the Silvertips, did I mention you'll hear that sentence a lot in this highlight? With a chance to cut it down to 2-2, a heave from the right half wall. Heslop finds a way to get it through. Might have been tipped, but if it was tipped by one of the Wild players. Maybe he just bounced it through and makes it a 2-2 game. But the Wild on the power play. Did I mention? No, just
And this
kidding.
is how it's done. Right here. Look at this.
6 seconds left on the power play. Dawson Seitz up top. 3-2. Wild with the lead. Sights off a cycling pass. They go all the way down to the corner, cycle it back out. Yeah, let's try plan B. And plan B is Dawson Sights for the eventual game winner. A full court press from the Silvertips, especially the last couple minutes, the goalie out of the net. But Wild get it done, 3-2. Massive win for the guys, and not a whole lot of breathing the last 6:16. A lot of breaths held, fingernails chewed, but the Wild get it done and pick up a monster win.
We didn't have the highlights of the last couple of minutes when the Silvertips pulled their goalie, but I listened to the last few. I was driving back from the basketball game on Friday night, and it was like, go clock, go, go clock. And that must have been crazy those last 2 minutes when they pulled the goalie, because they were like shot after shot after shot, and Mr. Hauser was just whacking them away. Shot
after shot, and a lot of them were blocked before they ever got to the net. Wild got sticks in the shooting lanes. They got bodies in the passing lanes, kept passes broken up, forced shots wide of the net. They got the puck down on the boards and did their best to jam bodies up against it, tie the puck up, and kill some time. They got it down to 3 seconds left in the game. Rush bodies to the boards in the corner. But when the puck is not moving around anymore, they're going to blow the play dead, and that's what happened. Just as they blow the play dead, there's 3 seconds on the clock. You can see Kenta Iso guy look at the referee and, come on.
So face off near the goal?
Face off near the goal, but that gives you a chance to tie the puck up at the dot and kill off the rest of the time. As long as it's not a clean win for the other team, you'll have a shot at it, and the Wild at least bottled it up and muddied it enough right at the dot to kill off the rest of that time.
We don't want to engage in hyperbole, but that was big. I mean, that was as big as a victory as we've had so far this year, because Everett's been running away with it across the board in our division, and we go into their house and we beat them.
And not only that, but we do it with a group that is still getting some guys back from injuries. Everett doesn't have any guys going to World Juniors, so they're a little banged up right now with injuries, but they don't have guys that they know are going to be out representing their countries for the next 2 to 3 weeks beyond that. So we get them on a big night, big promotion, special jerseys in their house right after they shut us out 5 days before on our teddy bear toss night. And we did it the right way. We did it by taking care of the details, taking care of the little things, selling out for our goaltender when we needed to. It was a win, especially a third period, that the guys can come back to again and again. They need encouragement. They need an example of how it's done. We go back to that game.
And because it was in Everett, which is the shortest trip of all of the trips that the Wenatchee Wild have to take, they got to sleep in their own bed that night at their billet family, and that's like sugar on the ice cream.
If only.
That's right. You went up to
the trip up to Kelowna was a quick one. So unfortunately, we didn't get to come back after that one. But we got enough rest to take care of things on Saturday pretty nicely, too.
Well, let's talk about Saturday. It was a matinee because they had some sort of big wing-ding in downtown Kelowna, so the game actually started at 3 o'clock our time on Saturday afternoon. The Wenatchee Wild showed up, and, well, the Rockets did not. Again, highlights in Austin. I'll let you take it from here, buddy.
9-1 is how this one would end up, and it got started early. Take a look at this passing on the power play, backdoor, tap it in. Lucas Sherbina has that one on the post with a 1-0 lead. 1, 2, and maybe a deflection in front from Miles Cooper. Hard to tell, but I think he might have gotten just a piece of it. Gets through to Lucas Sherbina pretty nicely, though. And the Wild with a 1. Check that. 2-0 lead.
Kenta Iso guy, he smoked that thing, didn't he?
It was a rocket in the home of the Rockets. Check out that shot down the slot. Put that sword back in the sheath. It's a 2-0 lead. No, it's going to be 3-0 because Miles Cooper is on the doorstep, on the goal line, ready to jam it in. It's a crowded house in the paint, but that's how the Wild score those goals. Sneaking it in behind the goaltender, Rhett Stoser. And 4 passes are going to make it a 4-0 game. Check out that shot. Sean Rios, mid-slot. 1, 2, 3. After the initial pass to get it out of the zone. And
that
Rios
is just
to the roof.
Beautiful hockey right there. That's how it's done.
That is textbook for the Wild. And so's this one. Easton Mannix, a whole bunch of bodies in front of the net. A little bit of a conference to see who scored that one. Okay, maybe it was Ben Davis. He's going to lead the flyby. They would re-rule it for Easton Mannix, so check that out as it goes right through about 3 different bodies in traffic to the net, well screened to make it a 5-0 game. Make it 6-0. Pass across the slot. Sean Rios bangs it in. And the Wild tack on 29 seconds between goals. It was 7-0 going to the second period. Almost looked like we were going to Grinch the Rockets on their big day, but they did get one down the slot to make it 7-1. Wild tack on another couple in the third, including a hat-trick goal from Sean Rios. Good runs through the neutral zone, good play in front of the net, got some great crisscross passing on the rushes. The Wild were scoring all sorts of different ways in that game on Saturday. No casualties. Everybody came out healthy from that game, which is just what we want to see going into the holidays.
13 different Wild players scored points on Saturday night. When that happens, you usually win.
Oh, yeah. And it's usually a high-scoring night. 9-1, I believe, is it ties for the highest-scoring game for the Wild since coming into the WHL after the Winnipeg move. But the game that we won with 9 goals last year, that was a trip down to Tri-City, and I believe they scored 3 in that one. So this one, the biggest win for the Wild since the Wild became a WHL team. And coming into the holidays, the guys getting a chance to get home, see some time with their families, get a little bit of rest, and get those dents and dings worked out before they come back for the big games after the holidays. It's a big win. It comes at just the right time and the right way for this group.
Any of the members of the Wild roster are going to be doing some international hockey here? You mentioned the tournament. Are they staying close to where they live, or are some of them going to be heading overseas?
It'll be a group that's pretty close to home this year, unfortunately. We saw Connor Geekie and Matt Savoy go last year, but 25 guys make the tournament every year from Canada. And, of course, you got some guys that represent Czechia and the other countries. Every so often you'll see one from the U.S., but this year 8 WHL players made the cut, none of them from Wenatchee. A couple of them, one of them from Kelowna, and they've got 2 more representing the Czech team as well. So the Kelowna group that we saw on the game on Saturday, they've got some guys that may come back from injuries, but other than that, it's likely going to be a lot of the same guys that we'll see coming up on the 31st when the Wild are back at home.
It was nice to score 12 goals in 2 games. It was even nicer to only give up 3 goals in 2 games. We gave up just 2 against Everett and 1 against the Rockets in Kelowna. Again, defense and special teams has been the strength of this team so far, and they proved that over the weekend.
The power play had especially dropped off a bit the last few games. It was 1 for 16, I think, over the 4, and the Wild had scored 1 in 12 straight before that. So to see this group come back, they were almost perfect on Friday night. They just had that 1 power play that they didn't convert on. Changed that over the next night and went 3 for 3 on both special teams, power play and penalty kill. It's a well-oiled machine that just wasn't really gelling quite that same way the last few nights.
Wild are off until the 27th. They'll be in Spokane. December the 28th, they'll be back here at the Town Toyota Center. Is this a league-wide break? Everybody from the WHL now has a little bit of downtime, or will there still be some games peppered around between now and the holidays?
There are games coming up tonight. There's one coming up on Wednesday as well, coming up tomorrow. But after that, you won't see anything until the 27th. After everybody's played their games, the league trade wire shuts down, so no guys are traded over the holidays, and that's not news that you want to wake up to on Christmas Day or Boxing Day. So
congratulations, you're going to play for Moose Jaw. Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, and the league will not allow those trades to be finished during the holidays. Once the guys come back, there may be some movement for the next couple of weeks, but it gives everybody a chance to really step back, spend some time with your families, and hit the reset button. The Wild are one of the earlier teams. There's still a handful of games tonight and another one tomorrow before everybody's out of the way.
What is the plan for the Wild between now on this Tuesday and the 26th or so when they get back into town? What was what did Coach Don tell the boys before they closed up in Kelowna? Bring some skates, stay in shape, don't eat garbage, that kind of stuff?
The standard stuff. I'm sure the guys will be staying sharp and getting back on their skates, slapping the puck around a little bit while they're gone. But the first organized practice with the group back together won't be until next Thursday night before the game over in Spokane on Friday.
Spokane on Friday the 27th, and Spokane again on the 28th at the Town Toyota Center. That is that ugly? What is not ugly sweater night? That is
Margaritaville night.
Margaritaville night. Whew, none for me. I'll be working. How important was these two victories this weekend? I know we don't want to. I was just so happy on Friday night with the result. It was like, yeah, we beat Everett. And we beat them the way we beat them, and then of course Kelowna was like sugar on the ice cream. Those were two huge victories going into the break, isn't it?
Those were two games that honestly I think the season could hinge on those a little bit. You're coming off a stretch with 4 losses where some of them were very, very close. We talked about the Spokane game on Saturday where the guys did everything so well, put in a full 60-minute effort, and certainly deserved a better fate than they got with that one power play goal that Spokane got more than the Wild. That ended up being the difference in the game. And a game against Seattle on Tuesday night last week that didn't end terribly well for the guys. They were right in it until the third period, and then Seattle went on a sprint in the final few minutes to really put that one on ice. To come back from 4 tough losses and really just knock off, number one, the team that they did with Everett, and then knock off Kelowna close to this group in the standings, the way they did on big nights for both of those teams, I think is a major emotional lift for the guys. And again, especially with the Everett game, something these guys can come back to when they need an example later in the year for a reminder of how it's done.
And those two places are not easy places to win, in Everett and in Kelowna. That's, you go into their barn and you beat them there, you've done good.
And a good crowd in Kelowna on Saturday night. Friday in Everett, always a very, very tough place to win, not just against a good team, which Everett always is every year, but the way the building is set up, everybody's right on top of you. They always have a big crowd. They did on Friday night too. That's a very tough place to win a game when you come in on the road. And for the Wild to gut one out the way they did, that says something about this group coming into the holidays.
And we don't want to single out too many individuals, but one more time, I just want to mention the fact that Daniel Hauser showed everybody over the weekend why he's got a scholarship to Wisconsin. There was like saran wrap around the post. He was on fire.
I think it was 78 out of 81 on the weekend, but he was moving well left to right. He made some phenomenal saves on Friday. Made some really good ones on Saturday too. So not only the volume of what he saw and was able to keep it out of the net, but the way he did it, it was impressive to watch.
It was very impressive to watch. Again, 2 huge victories. Now they're off until the 27th and 28th at Spokane on the 27th, back here on Saturday the 28th. Your plans, you're heading off to Iowa for what, till Christmas Day or so?
Christmas night, yeah.
Christmas night, then you're flying back?
Yep.
So your impressions so far is, we're not going to say, I don't know if we'll see you next week or not. You talked about how big these 2 victories were over the weekend. Is this team going to start getting a little momentum? People are going to, the other teams in the WHL are going to have to sit up and go, okay, Wenatchee decided to start playing hockey now, we better watch ourselves.
Yeah, I think the teams around the league, they're going to notice, number one, the win over Everett, close game against Spokane, a win and another close game against Tri-City the weekend before. I think Wenatchee with these wins and a huge one against Kelowna, this is a group that is proving on any given night, anyone in the Western Hockey League can beat anybody. I don't think that comes as a surprise to the teams in the WHL. Everybody respects their opponent, and there are no nights off.
There are no nights off, none at all. Austin Wild, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Have a good time in Iowa, my friend.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Central Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Save up to $1,000 on hot spring spas or buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. Why shop anywhere else? Central Washington Water. They service what they sell.
Culinary Apple is the place for holiday gift giving. We have gifts for everyone, including our most popular gift box full of locally grown apples, our famous fudge, and cinnamon glazed nuts. Let Culinary Apple make your gift giving easy this year.
You're invited to experience small town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
Looking for that unique gift you just can't seem to find? Lush Life in downtown Chelan has what you're looking for. With a large selection of eclectic items from around the globe, you'll find the right gift for anyone and everyone on your list.
You're invited to experience small town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Holiday Spice returns to the Numerica Performing Arts Center on Friday, December 20th with 2 shows. This year it's called Holiday Spicier. It's intended for mature audiences. And 3 Christmas movies will be screened on Monday, the 23rd, White Christmas at 10 a.m., Elf at 3 p.m., and the night before at 7 p.m. Admission is just $3 a film.
Okay, before we send you on your way with that all-important weather forecast, don't forget it's Tuesday. We've teamed up with our friends at Small Town Holidays and the Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce to give away $50 gift certificates. Every Tuesday and every Thursday, Von Hart Goods does the honors today, owned by the Von Harts, right in the heart of downtown Manson, right on Wooden in downtown Manson, or whatever. I forgot the name of the street that runs through downtown Manson. I just drew a blank. And anyway, fresh homemade sandwiches, baked goods, the best sourdough bread you're ever going to eat. I've been talking about how good the food is, especially the bread. Don't go up today. They're closed Tuesdays. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. But you definitely, if you want to have something really special from the baked good kind of thing for your holiday dish, there's only one stop, and that's Von Hart's Goods in beautiful downtown Manson. Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce's new business of the year this year. Send me an email, and I'll pull out a winner for a $50 gift card to Von Hart's Goods at winner at NCWLIFE.com, winner at NCWLIFE.com. And that $50 gift card could be yours. We'll do the drawing, if we have the time, tomorrow morning on this very program. In the meantime, Mother Nature is going to give us a triple whammy, folks. We're going to start out with some snow. It's starting to snow lightly in the Upper Valley. I'm told it's snowing right now in Leavenworth and a little bit in Peshastan and Dryden. That's going to continue throughout the course of the day today. Snow until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. We have a winter weather advisory and goes until 10 o'clock. So snow, and then for a brief period of time between about 4 till about 5:15, 5:30 or so, freezing rain is in the forecast, occasionally mixed with snow, and then we transition from freezing rain to just plain rain about 6 o'clock tonight. So we get it all. We get snow, then freezing rain, and then rain, and a gradual warming trend because there's an atmospheric river heading our way. Mountain passes are not going to be very fun today because the freezing rain in the mountain passes is going to be thicker and more intense. They're specifically concerned about accumulating ice on the roadway on I-90, Snoqualmie Pass, and on Stevens Pass, although Blewett and White could also get some freezing rain mixed with the snowfall. That is a bad combination, so watch out for some pretty nasty driving conditions today, especially this afternoon, all the way through Wednesday morning. And again, there's an atmospheric river heading our way. We're going to warm way up on Wednesday, and we're going to stay well above normal. Our normal high this time of the year is 33. We'll be well past that on Wednesday. In fact, here is your forecast in detail. Again, snow today switches over to freezing rain about sunset, and then freezing rain to rain after sunset. It could be a very nasty afternoon commute. And a high today of 33, and that's not a misprint. It's going to get gradually warmer. The temperatures are going to rise while you're sleeping. We don't see that too often. Sunshine and 46 on Wednesday. We still have a slight chance of rain early tomorrow morning. Sunshine and 46. Are you kidding me? And as you can see, we'll be kissing 40 degrees with rain and not snow for the rest of the week. Interesting indeed. It's going to be very mild tomorrow, but we got to get there first. That's it for us. Have a great and safe Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.